Welcome to my Week 6 battle of the PDL. This week, the Chicago Grookies are taking on my very good friend Cprime, coach of the Palm Beach Stunfisks. And I want you to just take a minute and look at this unhinged logo that this man made. I cannot stand this logo, so I have to show it off literally any chance I get because it creeps me out beyond belief. Alomola should not have hands that look like that. It shouldn't have hands at all, let alone hands that look like that. Anyways, all jokes aside, I am on a 3-game losing streak, and he's on like a 3-game win streak. He's doing really, really well right now. He is currently actually on a 4-game win streak, and he is 3rd place overall, is where we are 7th place overall. Still making playoffs, but I really don't like that record, and I want to get those numbers up. So let's take a look at the teams and get into it. So my opponent's team is Cprime, Heatran, Azumarill, Slowking, Amoonguss, Mega Pidgeot, Mienshao, Crocodile, Venomoth, and Jolteon. Until I'm proven otherwise in the battle, I am assuming 1,000,000% that Mienshao is Choice Scarf. I'm also a little bit worried about Venomoth with Quiver Dance, and then a Quick Feet Jolteon could also be a little bit threatening because it would outspeed my Mega Lopunny. And then just general things like, you know, the Azumarill and Slowking are both pretty bulky. Azumarill can hit very hard as well, and then Heatran and Cprime are just huge threats on their own. So let's take a look at my team, and then we'll get into the battle. Also, if you enjoy, please drop a like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. So I started off this team with a support Noivern, rocking the safety goggles with Frisk. I'm using safety goggles to block Spore from Amoonguss as well as Sleep Powder from Venomoth because both of those are very annoying. Frisk is my ability to figure out items. I want to find out what's holding a Choice Scarf because that's one of the best ways for him to beat my Mega Lopunny, is nothing on his team is naturally faster than it besides like a Quick Feet Jolteon, as I mentioned previously. Rocking Super Fang just to do half health on whatever comes in. U-turn to switch out. Taunt is to stop either Stealth Rocks from the Heatran or to stop, you know, maybe Amoonguss from Sporing, Toxicking, or the Venomoth from Quiver Dancing as well. That's a big one. And then Roost just to get health back, and we are faster than the Mega Pidgeot to be able to prevent that from defogging. Next up, I have Specially Defensive Clefable with a little bit of special attack investment. That is to 2-hit KO Offensive Heatran with Hidden Power Ground. Moonblast hits the rest of his team fairly well. Amoonguss can come in on the set decently, but I have checks for Amoonguss in Noivern and Chandelure. And then Toxic just to spread status amongst the team because Heatran definitely doesn't want to switch into that. And then Soft Boiled to stay healthy with enough special defense to take 2 Flash Cannons from take 1 Flash Cannon from a fully offensive Choice Specs Heatran. Everyone I talked to this week said Assault Vest Electros looked amazing here, and I couldn't deny it because Jolteon was a huge threat as well as Mega Pidgeot, which this resists those moves, and with the Assault Vest and the special defense investment, it can take hits all day. Running a full physical set, I do lose out on a little bit of power from like Thunder Punch and Fire Punch compared to Flamethrower and Thunderbolt, but it was better to put my investment into like my physical attack because I did originally have this max attack, but then I realized I didn't need as much because Thunder Punch, Drain Punch, those all do really good, and I also didn't want Electros to get walled by a Quiver Dancing Venomoth in case I'm able to live a hit. Flamethrower wouldn't do much because it gets special defense boosts as to where Fire Punch is going to do a lot more damage. As well as the Slowking takes a little bit more from Thunder Punch than it does from Thunderbolt. Next up, I have Expert Belt Chandelure. I have a feeling he's going to think I'm Choice Scarf on this, so I want to bluff it as long as I can. Maybe Flamethrower the Heatran, give it a Flash Fire boost, and then he gets that, you know, false sense of security where he can stay in, and I hit him with a Hidden Power Ground that just annihilates that Heatran. I'm running enough speed to outspeed that aforementioned Heatran. Running Flamethrower. Hex is there because I have the Toxicon Clefable as well as Scaldon and Polion, and Shadow Ball wasn't like spammed crazy. Flamethrower is just kind of a better move, but just on the off chance that I get status, Hex can do some crazy damage. Hidden Power Ground for the Heatran, and then Energy Ball for the Slowking and for the Azumarill. So Mega Lopunny and Cprime's Mienshao are actually tied in kills and deaths for the #1 position in the league, so my Lopunny has to put in some work this week. We're rocking Fake Out, Return, High Jump Kick, and then the last move is Protect. Protect is there to scout what that Mienshao wants to do, and if it goes for a High Jump Kick of its own, it's actually going to take recoil damage, so it's risky for him to do. That Mienshao does get Inner Focus, as well as Venomoth gets Shield Dust, so both of those can be immune to Fake Out, so that is something I have to keep in mind, because I did sort of lose last week to a Inner Focus Hitmonchan when I clicked Fake Out on it. And last but not least, I have Choppleberry, Fizdev, and Polion. I originally had Cloyster in this spot, which I don't think I've mentioned this yet. I dropped Sneasel last week and picked up Cloyster just for a better defensive Pokemon, as well as for a rapid spinner. I had Cloyster in this spot originally as a spike setter as well with Shell Smash to sweep, but in all of the mocks I did, it did absolutely nothing every single time. I won all the mocks, but it would just die. It would come in and just be fodder. So I went with this to set up Stealth Rocks, Scald, Roar, and Defog. Stealth Rocks are also annoying on my side of the field, so I want to try to be able to prevent those. Choppleberry to either take a hit from the Mienshao or like a Focus Blast from Cprime. And Roar is there so I can phase out the Venomoth. I'm quite worried about that thing quiver dancing up. I have some checks to it, but it can still be scary nonetheless. So yeah, that is the team. If you enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the battle. Alright, here's the battle. My opponent brings Mienshao, Azumarill, Heatran, Kyurem, Jolteon, and Mega Pidgeot. I want to lead off with Noivern here, just to be able to figure out something's item right off the bat, since I have Frisk. If something like Jolteon or Kyurem comes in, I can go out into Clefable. And if Heatran tries to lead and set rocks or something, I can taunt that as well. And if Mienshao comes out, I just kind of have to make an educated prediction of what it's going to go for. It could hit me with a Stone Edge, could just U-turn. A lot of different things. It also just depends on the item of the Mienshao. But I do think leading Noivern and instantly finding out something's item is the best bet for me, so I'm going to do that. Alright, so we lead Noivern here as Pidgeot comes out, so we are faster than this. We don't find anything out, though, because we do know it's a Pidgeotite. I do get a free Super Fang here because nothing's immune to this. My opponent does not have a Ghost type on their team, so I'm just going to click that immediately. Alright, so he Mega Evolves, and we get the Super Fang off. I assume they just U-turn out here, which they do. I could see either the Kyurem, the Mienshao, or the Jolteon coming out here. Possibly even Heatran if it wants to set its Stealth Rocks, which is what comes out. And I'm immediately going to taunt this because I don't want rocks up on the side of the field. He can go for an Ancient Power, which let me see how much that would do to me. An offensive Heatran with Ancient Power would do about 42 to 50%, but I think going for the taunt here is worth it because I don't want rocks up on my side of the field. And then I can just U-turn out the following turn into Electros here. So I'm going to stop some Stealth Rocks here potentially, maybe a status as well. And so we do stop the Stealth Rocks here, so now I'm just going to U-turn out into Electros. Since we're Assault Vest, we can take any one hit from this thing. I don't think he would click Lava Plume here because I am a Dragon type. I resist that. If Electros was to get burned, though, it could be a little bit annoying, so that is something I have to take into consideration here. But I don't want to switch Clefable in on either like a Flash Cannon, and I don't want to switch Chandelure in on an Ancient Power, so I do think Electros just ends up being the best play here. So we're going to go that. Hopefully they don't go for a Lava Plume and get like a burn. That would be probably the worst case scenario here. But most of the season, he's been tending to run Magma Storm, so we'll find out here. And he just goes for Hidden Power, and I'm going to assume that's Hidden Power Ice, just based off the damage that it did to Electros. I don't see a reason for this Heatran to stay in, so I'm just going to U-turn to try to keep up the offensive momentum that I have going right now. Alright, so he goes out into Mega Pidgeot. We immediately switch out, which this is actually my dedicated Pidgeot switch in. But now that this thing is so weakened, I can actually probably go out into Mega Lopunny here and just threaten it with Fake Out or Return. So yeah, Return from Mega Lopunny KOs this. I actually wouldn't be faster though due to Mega Evolution mechanics, so I'm gonna have to Fake Out that first turn. Not really a big deal though. So we're gonna go Mega Lopunny here and get off that Mega Evolution right away here and Fake Out, because otherwise this would be faster because the speed mechanics of Megas are just very weird in Generation 6. So we get the flinch here, and it seems to be that he's just letting this Pidgeot go down. We're going to go for the return here because we are faster, and Mega Pidgeot goes down, which is awesome. It's a huge threat, so once we get my Stealth Rocks up, they are up for the game. So now I need to find an opportunity to get Empoleon in and get those up to pressure the Kyurem. And so that is 1 kill for Mega Lopunny, so now I'm 1 kill above that Mienshao for the kill record here. This means so much to me. It's just an ego thing against me and him. Alright, so the Mienshao comes out here, and as I said, until proven otherwise, this is Choice Scarf, so I'm just going to go for the Protect here and scout what his intentions are. If he goes for High Jump Kick, he's going to take 50%. But since I have Chandelure, I doubt that that is what he goes for. It's probably just going to be maybe a U-turn or something. But no matter what, we're going to find out here. Nothing stops me from just clicking Protect. So we go for that as they Drain Punch. Okay. So I'm still going to assume they're Scarfed, but I'm not going to go hard into Chandelure here. I'm actually going to go out into Clefable because that's a really good matchup. And if the Heatran comes out, I can just HP ground it for a ton of damage. So I'm going to go Clefable here on this Mienshao. It goes for another Drain Punch. So again, just going to... Oh, it's Life Orb. All right, so we just got confirmation that this is not Choice Scarf, but I do have to keep an eye on it being Inner Focus. Poison Jab does have a very low chance to kill Clefable, but I don't think he goes for a fighting move like ever here. Part of me wants to go out into Empoleon to get up my Stealth Rocks here. I feel like he would only switch out into Heatran here or go for Poison Jab, but it's also risky because he doesn't know if I'm Fizz Dev or not on this Clefable. He also has to be threatened by the fact that if I do like live a Poison Jab, that Moonblast just blows away this Mienshao. So I think I'm gonna predict the Heatran play here and go for a Hidden Power Ground. I'm in a really good position, and losing Clefable is not the end of the world, so I'm going to click the Hidden Power Ground here on the Heatran. Azumarill comes out. It really doesn't take a lot of damage from that, and I do have to fear this being a Belly Drum Azumarill, so I'm just going to immediately Toxic it. If it is Choice Band, a Play Rough or a Waterfall will knock me out here, but it's just worth it in case this is a Belly Drum set that I can start wearing it down. I have Protect plus Fake Out on Mega Lopunny, so I can stall it out in that sense. So I'm going to click Toxic here on this. he just goes for Iron Tail and misses, but it's kind of a fair miss considering I missed my Toxic here. Now that I know he has that though, I want to assume Choice Band, so I'm going to go hard out into Empoleon here, which does resist that, and I'm only really threatened by Superpower, but not really considering I have Chople Berry. So Empoleon's my play here 100%, and we take nothing from that Iron Tail. And now, like I said previously, I just get my Stealth Rocks up here. He is not Choice Banded, so Chople Berry does save us there. And now that this thing's attack's lowered, it no longer threatens me as much. Part of me thinks this might be an Assault Vest set with how little it took from my Clefable's hidden power, but I can't be for sure. It could be also like a Citrus Berry maybe. Like it could also have Belly Drum and just not have shown it yet. I'm gonna go for Scald here because nothing wants to take it and nothing wants to burn either. And if he does KO me here, I'm not going to be upset about it. All Empoleon really needed to do is get its Stealth Rocks up, so we're going to go for the Scald here. Heatran comes out, so this is going to take a decent chunk of damage from this. Yeah, it does over half, so we're going to 2-hit KO it here. He might go for Stealth Rocks here, and I have to decide if I want Rocks up on the field, because if I want to, I could just defog as he Stealth Rocks, and then I get my Rocks off the field too, but at least he won't have them. Oh, he actually said he was expecting Chandelure to come out. What if this does not have, like, any speed investment? Would I be faster than it? I doubt it. No, I'm never faster than this Heatran. This thing's kind of annoying for me, so I'm okay with it putting up my Stealth Rocks. With it putting up its Stealth Rocks as long as I can just KO it here. And if they KO me with Earth Power, I'm alright with that as well. So we're going to just go for Scald here. They get up their Stealth Rocks, we knock this out, and I might be able to get a chance in the future to defog, but if not, it's not a big deal because I'm wearing that Kyurem down, which I just think is more important. And I'm going to assume he's still thinking my Chandelure is Choice Scarf, which is what I want him to think. I haven't brought it out yet, but I've brought it so much so far that it's kind of an expectation at this point, I think, from some people. Alright, so that Kyurem comes out immediately here, and I'm just going to let Empoleon go down. I'm going to Roar here on the off chance maybe he sets up. I don't know if Kyurem gets any setup things back in Gen 6. I'm not, like, that familiar with it in this generation. I didn't even know it didn't get Freeze Dry until, like, a week ago. So, but yeah, Empoleon no longer serves a purpose for me, and nothing wants to come take these hits, so I'm just going to Roar. He sets up a Reflect, so get out of here, Kyurem. Azumarill comes out, and this is where I have to assume a Superpower comes out because I saw it last time. Clefable can actually come out and take a Superpower quite well, and then I might be able to double out into Empoleon on the Iron Tail and just kind of whittle down this Azumarill as well as burn some Reflect turns because Clefable's not going to take Stealth Rock damage. So I actually quite like that play, and I'm going to not double, but I'm going to switch out into Clefable here on a Superpower and then double right back into Empoleon here on an Iron Tail. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, since this is not Choice Band, there's no way that I can get KO'd by an Iron Tail outside of crit. So I'm going to go for one Soft Boiled here just to try to burn a couple Reflect turns here. So we're going to go for Soft Boiled. And they switch out into Kyurem, which is interesting because Moonblast is going to do a lot to this, even if it sets up a Light Screen. Yeah, even with a Light Screen up, this gets 2-hit KO'd. But this is starting to make me think that that Azumarill is going to Belly Drum. Because, like, I don't see another reason you set up screens for this. Jolteon can't boost in this Mienshau's Life Orb, so it doesn't make the most sense to me for these two. So, I have to assume that this is, like, Citrus with Belly Drum. But I'm just going to go for Moonblast here. He sets up the Light Screen, and then another Moonblast is going to KO it, so I'm just going to go for that here. Just goes for the Ice Beam, we eat that up, and Moonblast takes out the Kyurem here. We're in a great position. Either Azumarill or Jolteon comes out here. Not what I expected here. So this coming out makes me think it's probably a sub-Calm Mindset. That's like the only setup that Jolteon gets, and I don't have a ground type currently, but Electros can come in pretty freely, and it doesn't really care that it's going to be setting up Calm Minds because I'm physical, and I'll do some healing with Drain Punch, and there's only 3 turns left to Reflect, so we're going to just hard go out into Electros here, as he goes for an Agility. Does this thing get, like, stored power, or is it really just trying to go for game against, Lopunny here? Okay, so Jolteon does get stored power in Generation 6, so this is something I'm going to have to take into consideration here. Now, the best way I can think of going about this is doing as much damage I can with Electros, and then just cycling with Lopunny, going for Fake Out as long as I can until I KO this. It's not leftover, so it's not going to be gaining any health back, unless it's like Resto Chesto, but like you're really running a tight like set at that point if you're running like Agility, Calm Mind, Stored Power, Rest. It very well could be an option, but I feel like that's super unlikely. So I'm gonna go for a Drain Punch here and start doing some damage. So, and he also just told me he's running low on time. Going for Workup, interesting. We're just gonna keep going for Drain Punches here. This is the last turn of Reflect. I could also U-turn out because I am slower, and then I can go out into Mega Lopunny, which starts to do some huge damage with Fake Out, and like I said, I can just kind of start cycling between guys. So I actually kind of like that. I'm going to go for U-turn here. The Reflect's going to end this turn, so we're going to do some good damage. We go Mega Lopunny here. Fake Out's priority, so does not matter. And if this thing has Protect, then it's even like, I have even more questions. So going to go for Fake Out here, and yeah, so I just have to do that cycle of go Electros here, and then U-turn out, back into Lopunny, and Fake Out will finish it up. The Jolteon, I mean. So Electros just goes down here, which is totally fine. This is a cool Jolteon set. Definitely could have worked. I did think Sub, though. Sub would have made that a little bit better, maybe? I don't know. Mienshao comes out. I know this is Life Orb, and I actually believe we know it's Regenerator now, so I'm just going to go for a return here. It says it KOs. If he has, like, a little bit of HP investment, it might live, so I do want to be, like, a tad cautious, but he's running out of time, so I don't want to, like, take too long and, like, try to think about these plays, like, a crazy amount, so I'm just going to click return here and try to knock this out. He protects, which is part of the reason I did not hide Jump Kick. I'm not taking damage for no reason, sir. Absolutely not. So he does have a little bit of bulk on him. Unfortunate for Lopunny, but not the end of the world here. I could have hide Jump Kicked and killed, which maybe would have been the better play here. But there's no way this thing has a move to hit all Noivern, Clefable, and Chandelure, so it's just about figuring out which one comes out and does the most here, which I think I'm just going to go out into Noivern here and go for like Super Fang into U-turn or something like that. So we'll go that here, and I actually could just Roost this first turn so that I get back some health from the Stealth Rocks I just took. So I'm going to just Roost once, see what he wants to do. Maybe he'll whittle himself down with Life Orb a little bit, going for like Stone Edge here, and since we Roost, we'll lose our flying typing. Second Mega Lopunny probably wasn't the best idea because now I'm a little bit threatened by this, but I think I'm going to be all right here. He probably has to fear like a flying move as well, like Air Slash. All right, so he protects, so we just get a free Roost here, which is beautiful for Noivern. So now I'm going to Super Fang, do half health to this, and if the Azumarill comes out, that's even better. This is Regenerator confirmed now, so I am a little scared of that. So the Azumarill does come out here. We're going to do about 30% here. Does not show Citrus Berry, which is good to know. And I want to make sure I keep Noivern around because it is faster than Mienshao. So I'm just going to go U-turn and sack the Empoleon here, which I've honestly kind of shocked is still alive here. So U-turn out, we go Empoleon, let this go down here. He goes for Ice Punch. Okay. Gets the freeze, but doesn't matter because Scald thaws us out, but he takes us out with superpower anyway. That does weaken this a little bit. Chandelure does not go down to an Aqua Jet here, so I'm just going to go out into that, and he might be fearing that I am a Choice Scarf set, so that's always something that he has to fear, because it would be faster than this Mienshao. I'm just going to Energy Ball here. It will KO this, and it will do a ton to the Mienshao, and it's just kind of the best play here. So Energy Ball on this, we take that. So now it's just Mienshao versus my last three here. Flamethrower does the most damage. They knock off, so we know Drain Punch, knock off. And so it's probably Poison Jab is the last move. Or Ice Punch. Either can't hit Clefable or can't hit Noivern. So we're going to go Clefable here, and I'm just going to click Moonblast here. No reason to try to, like, soft-boiled stall here. He said GG's in chat, so I don't know if he's like, thing is over, if he wins, or if I win. I don't know, because I'm still a little nervous here, I'm not going to lie. Okay, so I'm assuming he doesn't have Poison Jab. He said called 2-0 just the wrong way, because he said he was going to 2-0 me. So yeah, he has nothing to hit Clefable. Ooh, I got a little nervous there at the end. I maybe shouldn't have sacked Lopunny to help with differential, but holy shit. We come out of the losing streak, which is huge. GG's to Carlos Cprime. Like I said, one of my great friends. I would do a post-game interview with him, but he is on vacation right now, actually, which is why we were kind of trying to rush through this game when he told me he had to go. But yeah, GG's, bro. Great battle. I think it's one of our closest ones we've had. Definitely closer than the one where I swept you with Hisui and Zoroark. So yeah, that is about it. Drop a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys all next week. See ya.